Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and good evening. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Neva Talitha Amodia, and today we're having five individuals, including me, who are here to share our hobby, interests, and talent. Okay, first we're gonna talk about hobbies. Then let's start with Maya. Maya, mind to tell us about your hobbies?
My favorite hobby is nail art. I started doing nail art in high school during my senior year. The reason I like nail art is because when I was watching YouTube or TikTok, nail art always came up and it never failed to catch my interest. In the fact, then they can do art in the form of a nail is very impressive. Finally, I wanted to try how to do nail art and what steps are needed for nail art. I've learned a lot about nail art. I already have to experience the nail art I've made is like your 3D character, cat eye, and fake nails. To be able to make them, it takes me quite a long time, and I have to keep studying diligently. In the end, I learned a lot about nail art. Apart from nail art, my hobbies are cooking and drawing.
Wow, you can actually do nail art. It's very impressive. You should teach me sometime.
Oh, it's interesting.
That's very fabulous of you, Maya. And then let's move to our person, Daffa.
Before that, I want to tell you a little story. At first, I didn't like table tennis in 2021, but my father kept encouraging me to move my body during the pandemic in my house. This table tennis was loved my father, so I could play with my family, security guard, and neighbor. Over time, I become fond of playing table tennis because the first reason is that I like sport that not many people are suitable like people like me. So table tennis is enough for two or one person only. The second reason is that I'm quite good at seeing the small ball and the table that look simple.
Wait, you play ping pong too? What a coincidence. I myself like to play ping pong as well. Long story short, when I was in junior high, I got kicked out of the class because I arrived late and the class had already begun. So I wandered around the school, and as I did, I noticed a room that belongs to the ping pong club. So I picked in their room, and the door, what the fuck? So I picked in their room and saw them practicing. It was extremely fun to watch them playing. But as I peeked through the door, their coach caught me. Luckily, it turned out the coach was my homeroom teacher from third grade. Luckily, it turned out the coach was my homeroom teacher from third grade. So I told him about what happened to me a moment before. And then he asked me, well, instead of and then he asked me, well, instead of wandering around doing nothing, why don't you try playing ping pong with us? And just like that, playing ping pong suddenly became a hobby of mine. Besides the people in the club who were nice and very supportive too. I used to participate in the ping pong tournament as well. But unfortunately, I didn't win. It was my very first tournament, and I was very nervous being watched by so many people. And after a while, just like Daffa, I usually play ping pong in my garage with my family or with the security guards during the pandemic. Well, besides playing ping pong, my hobbies are playing games, watching movies, and reading comics.
What a great story, Madafa and Mary. By the way, do you know that our faculty has a ping pong table on the fourth floor?
Yeah, I don't know that, but unfortunately, I don't think they provide the bat and the ping pong balls.
Worry not, guys. I anticipated this situation. Just in case someone wants to play ping pong with me, I brought my bats and ping pong balls from my house. We should definitely play together sometime.
That sounds like a great idea. I hope you enjoy every moment of playing table tennis.
Thanks, guys. Then how about you, Habib? Mind to tell us about your hobby?
I have a hobby of playing badminton. I started playing badminton when I was in junior high school. I was inspired by my father that when he played badminton. So I tried playing badminton and how it has become my hobby.
What a sporty hobby, Habib.
I agree. And the fact that you were inspired by your father makes it and the fact that you were inspired by your father makes it more interesting. Your father must be great, Habib.
Well, thank you guys. And Neva, since you haven't told us about your hobby, why don't you tell us now?
For me, I don't really have an interesting hobby actually. My favorite hobby is baking. I started baking at high school when I was like in 11th grade, and I quite good at that. The reason behind this was because I have a sweet tooth, and I kind of want to try something new. And so I thought that I could start baking to fulfill my sweet tooth needs. I also have an experience selling some of my bakes like brownie and cookie, and of course I learned a lot through the process. Like there was a lot trial and error, whether it was the temperature, different method, or many more. But it was worth because after that I learned so many things. Besides baking, my other hobbies are like reading books and watching.
Hope I can test it. I bet it tastes so good.
You must be very skilled at baking. We should bake together sometime.
Sure, let's bake together sometimes. It'll be fun. Since all of us already talked about our hobbies, then we should move to our next section, that is interests. For Maya first.
As for interest, I'm really interested in nail art and really like watching videos related to nail art.
Did you learn all about nail art from YouTube and TikTok only?
Almost everything is true, but I also like looking for references from Pinterest, article, and asking people who have more experience than me. That's all from me. How about you, Daffa?
For me, I'm quite interested in strategy games such as mobile games, chess, FPS games, and other online games. Even then, if I have free time and enough intention. I'm also not good at playing my games, but if I watch, for example, esport matches, there is an interest in watching, not playing the games.
Wow, I see you have a big crush on game, don't you? Again, just like Daffa, I also have an interest in games. But as for me, I'm a huge fan of sandbox games, platformers, arcade games, survival horror, you name it. But what really gets me excited are story based games. There's just something about getting immersed in a captivating narrative that really hooks me in.
It's very impressive. Then how about you, Habib?
As for me, I have an interest in studying cryptography because I want to know more about the world of cryptography, both in the system use and law about in cryptography, cryptocurrencies.
That's a great, that's an interesting interest. I mean, that was a good interest. Good luck on that.
Thanks, Nev. How about you? What's your interest?
for interest, back in my hobbies, I told you guys about that I like to watch movie, right? Uh, um, I think because of that, I'm interested in the process of movie making.
That is so cool, Nev. I used to be interested in cinematography as well. We should probably make a movie together in the future.
What kind of genres you often watch, Nep?
I really like action and dystopian genre. How the writer put their ideas is very cool, but what's even cooler is that how the filmmaker can capture what the writer intended to describe it very well with effect and many things more.
Wow, that's a very interesting job you got there.
Well, thank you. And that's all for me. Then, shall we move? Let's talk about talent. Start with Habib.
Okay, I'm not too sure about talent, but I am a fast learner, especially in math. I also like calculating math that have formulas. I love it math since I was in elementary school, and I still love it and continue to hone my math skill.
That's a great talent. Keep it going.
Sure, will do. The- Then how about you, Daffa? What talent do you have?
As it for me, I'm a person who is quite confident in my sensitivity because since junior high school, I have been in boarding high school or pesantren, and by my senior, I have to learn. One of them is learning discipline and sensitivity in the surrounding environment. One example, if there is garbage on the road, I immediately throw it away, not necessarily the garbage man who throw it away to garbage. So until now, I want to perfect this, even though it is not entirely because we are human. Will people agree that it is talent? I'm not sure because the perspective of human judgment is different, and I have met peace with that.
Whoa, that was quite unique for a talent, doesn't it? And but it's noble of you to take care of your surroundings.
Thank you. Then what's your talent, Neva?
For talent, I think it seems like Habib. I'm not really sure about my talent, but I think I'm a fast learner, especially with the things I like. For example, I kind of good at math. Uh, Nitruman once again, kinda. And for other talent, I think I good at language, English especially. Well, yeah, I'm not really sure though. Then what about you, Maya?
I'm very sure about this because I have artistic talent. I understood art quite quickly, and my horizon and imagination expanded broadly.
That's a very good talent. And the fact that you're so confident about it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I kind of curious though. Why do you choose this major, like accounting information system? Because your talent in designing or in artistic, it's really great, I think. Then how about you, Mari?
Well, as for me, just like the others, I'm not quite sure about my talent is, but I'd say I'm good in doing tongue twister. Or let's just say I enjoy rapping. So I guess my talent lies in doing tongue twisters well. Hear me out. I want to do some tongue twister for the closing of this podcast. It doesn't make sense though. But anyway, please free these three freezing fleas to flee on Fleet Feet on Fleet Street. How is it? Cool, right?
Well, I guess you're not. Well, yeah, it was good, but
It's
it was
cool. It's
a
cool.
gift from the God.
I
God
know,
that
right?
doesn't
I know, right? So yeah, I guess that's the end of our podcast. Thank you for listening to us, and bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.